Hello, hi, and welcome to our NFT Maker birthday stream. It's me, Patrick, you probably know me, and it's also Fahim in the corner left, top, whatever, our designer. And we're here today to celebrate our 11th, our first birthday on April the 11th, which is kind of crazy. I can't even believe that it's been a year already. Um, Time has flown by so fast. We have a lot of things planned today, so we're gonna talk. It's all gonna be very chill. We don't really have like a super fixed time schedule. We have a few guests here and there, but we're all gonna keep this really low key, show some stuff, talk about things, being super open as usual. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat whenever. Feel also free to share the stream with your friends or anyone who might be interested. I'm very glad that you're all here, and thank you so much for tuning in already. And now to start it off, I want to give the word a little bit to Fahim maybe. As you might know, Fahim is our designer. He's been there since day one. And maybe Fahim, can you talk a little bit about how this all started? Like what did we do in the beginning and what happened and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's crazy that it's been already a year. Time goes so fast. But yeah, like I remember back, I think in March, end of March 2021, I got a really long WhatsApp message from Patrick being like, "Oh, I have this crazy idea. I want to build a minting tool for Cardano because I'm working my bachelor thesis anyway." And he it was like a 5 minute long recording of him being super excited about Cardano and NFTs and his idea and stuff. And he actually in that message he had the idea of that 3 step minting process. As you might remember, we had in version 1 where you upload the image or the file and add the metadata and then you can mint it. And I think that's how it started. And then we just got on working. I was super hyped as well. And then we started building um, version 1 in Webflow in like a few days, maybe a week or something. Both us working, like me especially working after hours after my normal day job and just trying to get this thing ready for launch. And um, it took a couple of days to get it ready, and then we launched, and it was super amazing how many people saw this and used it, and we was super overwhelmed by the feedback. And I especially remember that Patrick was kind of overwhelmed as well with all of those customer support messages and trying to fixing things on the go. That was
The
a really
first
tough
day
time for him.
was first day
Yeah,
was definitely crazy. I was awake the whole night, just fixing random bugs, and so many people messaged me all at once, and some stuff worked, some stuff didn't work, and then there were like weird things, like for example, false file type and so on, which you had to figure out at the beginning. So it was really overwhelming the first day.
it was really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
and then we got started on working on the bigger things. I mean, it was quite clear from the beginning that we want to create this API for developers to use, and also building the marketplace, which was kind of on our minds from basically day one. And I'm so excited that we're gonna share the first live preview of the marketplace today, and you can see what we've been working on for the last few months, and I'm super excited to share that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's really cool. I can tell you
Mm.
that already. And I'm super excited. The marketplace was one of our first ideas right at the beginning, and then somehow NFT Maker Pro came in the way and became much bigger than we
Mm.
imagined it to become. And we're gonna talk about that later on as well with the main developer from NFT Maker Pro actually, who is not me, who's actually my dad, who I got into the whole company, which is really weird. It's
A
such a
family
strange
business.
yeah, it's such a strange setup, with Fahim, one of my best friends, and then also Peter, who's my other best friend, essentially. And then my dad is involved now, and then everyone brings in their friends into the company. And now we're just a lot of friends working on stuff that we like together. And I love that. Honestly, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it makes the whole day-to-day life working at NFT Maker so much fun because you're working with friends. But also just in
True.
general, like the plan for today is that you guys are gonna see some people that are not that public. So some of our developers are gonna talk about the marketplace and about how working with Cardano and building our tools, how it is, and you can ask questions for them. And also a bit more detail about our upcoming token, where we have the ICO next Monday, I think, which is super exciting. And then the marketplace, and then a bit of an open Q&A as well, for general questions that you might have.
Yeah, exactly. And fine, let me ask you, when we started this whole thing, you weren't really super deep into crypto or Cardano, and I was talking about Cardano, for
Yeah,
years, honestly. I was really annoying all my friends, and I told them, buy Cardano, it's the next big thing, and so on and so on. And none of them listened, of course. No one bought ADA at 3 cents, like I
yeah,
told them to. And they're all mad about it now, right? You are
true,
you are a little
true.
bit mad. Yeah.
I remember that you talked to me or told me about Cardano and ADA back in, I think, August 2020.
Hmm.
And I should have gotten into crypto and Cardano back then. But
You should have.
yeah,
You should have. But how do you think your mindset has shifted since then? I mean, at the beginning you weren't really that interested in NFTs, of course. Like wasn't either, right? And since then we've seen so many like amazing projects launch and really cool stuff also launch with NFTs. So do you have any thoughts on that? Like what is your current view on Cardano, cryptocurrencies,
I,
NFTs, and so on?
I think it's a super exciting time, especially for NFTs, since there's so many products and tools launching, and it's super interesting where the technology of NFTs is being taken. So obviously we have art on blockchain, but what about ticketing? What about what we've been doing like with Buja, like high fidelity artworks and stuff like that? It's super exciting to see what is actually possible, and that is something I'm very curious about, and that's something the marketplace also will focus on, supporting all kinds of different NFTs in the future as well. So yeah,
Yeah. And that's what we've been trying since the beginning, right? NFT Maker 1 was like an experiment for us to see, okay, does this work? Do people actually care about this? And so on. And since then, we only just did experiments all the time. Like we launched so many different projects where we didn't really know if they're cool or if they are going to work or not. But we just wanted to try them out to see if they work because the concept sounds cool. And,
true.
there were many things we have done wrong, like many, many, many. But there were also some really cool ones, right? So I think that's kind of the way we approach this, so that we just think of something which is cool and which we would like to try, and then we try it and we see if it fails or not. And even if it fails, then we've learned something new. And that's kind of the way, at least I have been approaching this company and this whole journey. And I think that's also the way you should be doing this, because no one knows where crypto is going to be in 5 years or years or 10 years. So you have to be very agile and you have to think about the things and like push it in the direction that you wanted to see in, but you also have to be open to failing, because it's very easy to fail. Like there might be things that just do not work the way you expect them to work. Like many things that I expected to be different turned out to be completely irrelevant or very different also. So yeah,
Yeah, it makes it super exciting that no one has done the things we are doing. So it's quite a challenge to see ahead and build things actually. But that makes it exciting. Yeah.
that's very true. Yeah, that's very true. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to talk for a few more minutes before we go into the next section, maybe about your design work and your background, and just introduce yourself a little bit more to
Yeah,
the
sure.
people that don't know you at all?
Yeah. So my name is Fahim. I'm a trained UX designer, let's say. So I focus mostly on product design and building user interfaces that people actually enjoy using. And my main focus in the last few months and basically the last year was building our marketplace and the payment gateway as well. Yeah, my background is I've studied design, UX design. After that I've worked at a bunch of different startups and companies as a designer, as a lead designer, and in agencies and so on. So I got a bit of experience working on products. Um, and I got into crypto mainly because of one thing. It's looking at the whole crypto environment, all of the products, the apps, and stuff like that. There's a lot of it's a big wild west, I guess. There are things that are not super usable, and there are not many standards of how to approach your interfaces in crypto. And being of one of the first designers actually getting really deep into designing for the crypto space, or especially the NFT space, is a big challenge. And that's something that I'm very happy about doing, and it's so much fun. For example, building the payment gateway. There are so many. It's quite a simple interface, I would say, but getting there is quite hard, and there are a lot of challenges, especially in development, working with Cardano, that you have to overcome and that you have to figure out to make it usable and fun experience for the end user. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's that's the cool thing about working with you, because I'm of course super deep into crypto and I have been for a long time. So I know all this stuff. I know the DEXs, I know NFTs, I know all these different crypto related stuff. But you didn't necessarily when you got started with it. So it was very different for you because you bring in like a very unique perspective as a designer who wants to build things for users and not as a crypto customer who wants to build
Exactly.
crypto things for users. So you always look for the best solution, and you don't really care if it's like via
Yeah.
blockchain or if it's not via blockchain, because there are things that blockchain cannot solve the same way as like a regular database can, or something like that. So you always look at it from just the regular
Yeah.
user human experience standpoint. So I like that really about it. And since then you gathered a lot of like great people also in the design team around you, right? Selina and Moritz and Andre, so a lot of cool people. Shout out to you. um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm super excited for you to actually see and use the marketplace, because that's kind of our baby, and I'm really very curious about how it actually is, when people are using it. It's gonna be fun.
yeah. And just some information for the people out there. The marketplace, the launch is coming soon. I'm not gonna announce a date today, unfortunately, but the launch is coming soon, and you will see the first version of it today. And Fahim is going to show you that. And I think what our marketplace makes so different from the other marketplaces is that we, like all of our design choices, I would say, are focused on onboarding people into the space. So it's not really like a marketplace. Like, of course, it's great for people that already know crypto, but it's not only that. It's more also for people that don't know crypto that want to get into NFTs, and like the user flow and all these things are very easy for them to understand. And the way we have approached also building this from a technology standpoint is that we are essentially making sure that it's expandable, because we have so many ideas, right? We try to do everything and we just can't. There's not enough time. So we build it in a way so that it's easy for us to iterate on it later on and add new features. So many of the things that we want to have, we don't have yet, but the path to them is very clear from a design perspective, but also from a development perspective. And that's really, you cannot underestimate that, because I think personally, once the marketplace is out, we will be able to just iterate on it all the time and just push out updates all the time. And that's what I'm excited about, because then, people are using it, we can change things. It's the same way we do it with NFT-MAKER Pro, right? Where we push out new updates all the time, and we push out new ideas, and some things we try and then they don't work and then no one cares about them and we delete them. Or sometimes they are life changing for us, like the pre-sale conditions in NFT-MAKER Pro, for example. And yeah, and that is something I'm excited about. And then also, with the payment gateway, like the tight integration between the payment gateway, NFT-MAKER Marketplace, and NFT-MAKER Pro, in the long term, these three things are going to work super well together, I think. And then, of course, we have the other stuff on the roadmap, like our wallet integration, which is also focused not on being like a competitor to Nami wallet or all these other wallets, which are doing a great job, but instead it's focused on a completely different target audience. It's focused on onboarding people into the space who have never bought an NFT before, who don't own any ADA, and who maybe want to buy their first NFT with fiat payment. That's also one thing where I'm in talks with lawyers like all the time and trying to figure out how do we make fiat payment a reality. It's a lot harder than you can imagine, honestly. But we're getting there, I
Yeah.
think.
Just to add to the point, like why we are doing like this super, let's say non-crypto user approach is like, of course, in the future we will be definitely cross-chain, but if of all of our tools, the Payment Gateway Pro, the marketplace are super user friendly for non-crypto people, it we can bring so many new artists and people onto the Cardano space and grow our community together. I think that's super cool as well.
Yes. And fine, did you know that NFT Maker version 1 is still the most used NFT minting tool on Cardano by the
That's
sheer user
crazy.
count?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like every time I go to the website and I think, okay, this like there is no new NFTs there. No one uses NFT Maker version 1 anymore. There are so many competitors and you can use so many different tools nowadays. And then there are like thousands of new NFTs. It's kind of it's really
Yeah,
funny actually.
it's great.
Mhm.
Cool. Shall we go next over to the next section?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
So we'll be back in a few seconds. We have to set up a few things, invite new people, and so on, and then we'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, welcome back. I'm still Patrick. I'm here now with two different people. Faim is still here, but he's actually hidden behind this little avatar. And now I'm here with Max and with Sasha. Sasha is my dad. Max is one of my friends from university, and they both work on NFT Maker now. And we're going to talk just a little bit about building the tech behind NFT Maker. And they have both like really weird backgrounds now. I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. Nice choices. So maybe let's just start by introducing yourself. So Max, you know, who are you? What's your background? What are you passionate about? All this kind of stuff, and what's your role in NFT Maker?
Yeah, I'm Max. I'm actually a friend from the university, from Patrick, and it's kind of like with Fahim also. Basically, Patrick came back to me last year when I was writing my master thesis, and he told me, "Yeah, I want to, yeah, scale NFT Maker. I already built it and I need more people, more developers." And so he convinced me joining the NFT Maker team. So I joined in last November. So NFT Maker Pro was kind of there already. And I joined as a developer for the NFT Maker Payment Gateway in first. But since December, I'm also working on the NFT Maker Marketplace. So mainly, I'm a IT person. Basically I'm into almost everything, kind of front end, back end, full stack, infrastructure, everything. But at NFT Maker, I'm mainly working on the backend services at this time, and I also helped setting up the initial IT infrastructure back in November. But basically, I'm mainly working in the backend development at this time of the payment gateway and of the marketplace.
Okay, I see. And Max, I've been, when we were studying in university, I've been bothering you every day for many years, I think, about crypto. And,
Yeah,
and
kind
you
of.
always, yeah, not maybe not every day, but I was very deep into crypto, and you were always, yeah, it's too unsafe. I'm not gonna be part of it, and I don't want to invest. And now you're here, and I want to hear a little bit about like what has changed for you. Are you more familiar with the concepts behind crypto and specifically Cardano now? And what do you what do you think about it? Like where do you see the challenges? Maybe just some thoughts there.
Yeah, so initially, sure, I know what a blockchain is, and I knew it also before, but I were not detailed into crypto, at least not from a developer or technical perspective. Basically, I learned everything in the last month. So because I knew nothing, especially about Cardano, um, before I joined NFT Maker. So I think I tried to learn a lot of things in the last few months, and I think it went pretty well. Also, the documentation, or at least if you research for the Cardano stuff, it's not that bad, I think, as some people say. And you can quite, if you have a IT or technical understanding, it's not that hard to get into it, I think, especially regarding the whole UTXO and blockchain topic. Yeah, I'm pretty into it now, and I find it really interesting, especially the blockchain stuff and the UTXO model compared to other cryptocurrencies. Yeah, but I'm just, to be honest, I'm just in the start regarding crypto. I don't also know a lot of other chains, basically just Ethereum, which I'm comparing to Cardano basically, and sure, Bitcoin. But I'm not, yeah, I don't know a lot of the cryptocurrencies or crypto networks. So I'm mainly working on Cardano now with Patrick. And yeah, to be honest, I had no idea of what an NFT technically is before I joined the company, but I learned everything and I find it really interesting, especially what is actually on the chain, what is off the chain, and how you can try to put things on the chain, which might not work or which might be different, especially what Patrick did with the unsigned algorithm. I think I find it really interesting. And yeah, I'm really looking forward, especially yeah, the technical implementations. So for me, I'm there for the technical stuff, and I'm also interested in these technical topics. That's my interest.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, so then I want to go over to Sasha. As people already can see, your last name is the same as I. Why is that? Are we related?
Yeah, we are. I am your father.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so Sasha is my father. You're completely right. And I brought him into the company very, very quickly after, NFT Maker version 1 launched, and then the unsigned algorithms. And then you are now the main developer for NFT Maker Pro. And yeah, and I think, it might be interesting for people to know a little bit more about you. So can you tell us just a little bit how you grew up with technology? What's your background? How has it changed in the last,
Okay.
100 years? Okay, no, you're not that old. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the main developer of NFT Maker Pro. That's correct. So if something is not working, I'm responsible for this most times. Yeah, I program since I am 15, and that's a long time ago. I talked with Max a few minutes ago about this, and yeah, it started all with Schneider CPC 464. I don't know if even no one wants this computer. It was the 8-bit era in the 80s, and I started programming with BASIC, and later on in the school then with Pascal and Delphi. And then I moved over on my own to C# and to the .NET framework, and that's how we implemented the the NFT Maker Pro. It's all coded, or the most parts of it is coded in .NET framework and C#. And that's my main and my favorite language at the moment, because yeah, it has the most features and the most possibilities with the less effort. And yeah, that's why we have decided for use this framework and this language. Yeah.
How difficult was it for you to get into Cardano development? I remember our first day when I was literally sitting next to you and you struggled so hard just setting up the Cardano node, and I had to teach you. Um, so how has it progressed since then? Do you think Cardano development is quite hard, or do you think it's easily doable for everyone? Or what do you think about that?
Actually, it's just not that hard if you know how to run it, and if you know how it works, then it's very easy to understand. But it was when we came together, when you came to me and showed me your project and asked me, can we mint 10,000 of NFTs at once? And I showed it this, and I had no idea of crypto. I had a little bit mining experience, and I had a little bit Bitcoin holding in my wallet and something like this, but I had no programming experience in blockchain. And for me, it was not clear what is an NFT and how can I get some information into the blockchain. So I don't know if it's harder to program for Cardano or for Ethereum or for Bitcoin. I have no idea, because the most things I programmed now is for Cardano, and now for me, I understand it very deeply, and it's not so difficult. Yeah, the one thing which is a little bit more harder than in other blockchains, I think it's smart contracts, because Haskell or Bluetooth, that's a functional language, so it's not that easy like maybe Ethereum. But I have no experience, as I said, I have no experience with other blockchains, so I cannot say it is more difficult or not. If you, as Max already said, if you are a little bit experienced in technology and a little bit experienced in some programming language, then you will find very easier way into Cardano development. And at the time, there are coming more and more programming tools also for .NET and for Python and for other languages, which are very easy to learn and which are very user friendly. And so you will be captured a little bit from the complexity of Cardano network. And so it is not that hard. Yeah, it's handleable. Yeah.
Okay, that is good to know. I think for people out there, I tend to agree. I think it's sometimes difficult to figure out what exactly you have to learn. Like if no one is guiding you, there are just too many information online, or like too different kind of information, and you don't really know where to actually look for the stuff that you need. But once you figure it out, it's actually not that hard. What do you think, and this is also for Max, like how would you get started with development? So would you tell people, okay, the first thing you have to do is learn Haskell? Or do you think it's enough to say, okay, you should start by setting up a Cardano node? Or should you start by trying out Blockfrost and just querying information there, or stuff like that? How would you get people into development on Cardano?
To be honest, I think it depends on what you want to accomplish. If you just need some information from the blockchain, I think it would be certainly the good way to start looking at Blockfrost and checking out, okay, is there an API capable of doing what I want? And then you simply use Blockfrost. I mean, it's a high abstraction layer. So if you just need the information, you fetch it from Blockfrost. But if you really want to get into the network, into the blockchain stuff, I think it makes sense to first check out the architecture. How is Cardano set up? What are the different core tools and how are they working together? So essentially, you should understand what is a Cardano node for, what is a stake pool, what is how is the network working together. And then I would say if you know the basics, depending on what you want, you should maybe start using Cardano CLI or something like that to really try and sign a transaction via the command line, which is sure not convenient, but maybe you should do that once or twice. And then you can go to the high level tools Sasha is mentioning and we are also using, because at the end, it does not make sense for new developers to just use the least abstracted way to do the things on Cardano. It makes more sense to use the existing tools Sasha is talking about, which do the things for you and have a higher abstraction. So I would say, if you really want to get into it, don't only use the higher abstractions, but try it yourself once or twice with the lower abstraction tools or the CLI, and then you go back to the higher abstractions. So you have the big picture in mind, how everything is working technically.
Yeah, the first thing for new developers on Cardano would be to install a Cardano node and to play around a little bit with testnet and with the Cardano CLI. The Cardano CLI has made a lot of improvements in the last month, and in Alonso era there is a lot of new features were invented into the CLI, where you have, for example, where you don't have to calculate the fees for yourself and such things. You can this can all be done by the CLI itself. So the raw functionality which we implemented in NFT-MAKER Pro is not longer necessary any longer. So you can just start, and it is not so difficult to understand. If you want to choose a programming language for Cardano, I would not start with Haskell, of course. It's as I said, it's functional, and it is not so easy to understand. Just take Python and try a little bit, play a little bit around with it, and use the high level AP functions from NFT-MAKER Pro or from Blockfrost or from other providers like Koios or something like this.
Cool. That actually leads me to another thing that I wanted to talk about. So, as we're all aware, there are many projects building on top of Cardano at this point, especially like the libraries like Koios, as you mentioned, and Blockfrost, and so on. Which ones are you using, and are there any shout outs you want to give? Because I personally think these libraries don't get enough love, and many people don't know that we are using them, and we are minting, thousands of NFTs using some of these libraries. So do you want to give a shout out?
Actually, we are using of course Blockfrost as a service provider, and we have our own Koios installation. But this is of course also a financial thing, because for Koios you need a very large system with the Postgres SQL database, and with the node. You cannot. I would not recommend to install it on your own system. I would recommend use the free public Koios services, or also Blockfrost. That's what I recommend, because for getting into it, you don't need to install your own servers. Of course, we have it because we need a little bit more scalability, and we have millions of accesses every day, so we cannot bring this into Koios because it's a free service, and I'm not sure if they were happy when we bring 20 million calls every day. So that makes no sense for them, and for us also. So we have, of course, our own instances, but yeah, as I said, use them, and they offer a great service. They have a good community behind, and they are answering questions very fast. So don't worry, and use them. And for other libraries, yeah, there are a lot of libraries in the Cardano space. Actually, we don't use so much of them. I don't know one. I know one which we are using in the payment gateway. This is the serialization lib, of course. But in NFT-MAKER Pro, we don't have any external libraries using. We're just using the Cardano CLI, and all other things we are making ourselves. Yeah.
And shout out to the serialization lib and Alessandro, who's coming actually in 5 minutes. So he's one of the people who made the serialization lib work and what it is today.
Yeah, I really like the library. If you look at it first, you think, oh, it's very complex and so on. But I think those who designed it did kind of a good job because the interface is kind of straightforward, mainly a builder pattern, something like that. Yeah, that's what we're using in Payment Gateway. For Koyos, we have to say we have one dedicated person in the company who's only handling the infrastructure. And that's why we have the capacity to have a high availability Koyos setup for ourselves. But I would not recommend it unless you have a large company to be run. Also, we are using Cardano GraphQL and DB-Sync, of course, for more, I would say, raw data fetching or to improve the performance of some queries which would otherwise take a long time. By the way, Cardano GraphQL is a really nice interface. If you get into it, it's very nice and plays also very nice with the typical GraphQL tooling. That's what I can also recommend. And what I also can recommend and what are we using is Ura from the TX-Pipe GitHub repository. It's kind of another approach because it's more like stream processing, but it has different things, and we're using that for the marketplace partly to basically create a database of all NFTs or create a database of all transactions and filtering. That's a very, very powerful tool if you want to analyze the data on Cardano. For that, I can recommend the Ura stuff with maybe Apache Kafka or some other things being used.
Cool. Okay, then we're already almost at the end. Maybe if you have anything else left to say, some stuff to talk about, then feel free to use that right now.
Yeah, I think I can talk something about the payment gateway also. Maybe we just want to emphasize again that the NFT-MAKER Pro, which Sasha is building, or the API around the NFT-MAKER Pro, is not only meant for our internal tools or for our internal products, but it's also meant to be used by you and other persons. So, for example, if you want to start your own very, very custom NFT drop and you want to do everything on your own, you can simply use our API. The API is open to everyone and it's not just an internal API. So we also want to see us as a kind of infrastructure provider. Sure, we first built the API for ourselves, for our own tools, but at the core, everyone else can basically reuse it. And we also know because, yeah, we first built it for our internal things that we might have to improve the documentation a little bit on that, but we're in the next month, we really tried to improve the documentation, developer experience of our API. And the payment gateway basically is also just using the NFT-MAKER Pro API. It's not a complete separate backend or something like that. It's just an gatekeeper or abstraction on NFT-MAKER Pro to handle a massive amount of payments. One challenge there, if you, maybe you know it in the payment gateway, is that we suffered a lot of performance issues, which were mainly because of there were that unexpected amount of requests. I think at one day we had 1 million requests within a few hours. So our payment gateway could not handle that at this time. But Sasha and me, we worked really for days to improve everything regarding caching layers, regarding CDN caching, and we basically, just built in everything which we thought of, and since then it's working. So what we just challenged there are mainly performance problems, but we could really solve them in the last month, and I think we are really happy about them. Yeah, and that's why you also see the seaplanes on the payment gateway. I think what you maybe you've experienced it when buying an NFT, kind of a little Easter egg, but it reminds us on, also looking at the things, not just, oh, it's not working. We have another performance issues. We try to joke a little bit also on it.
And we are working at the moment at so many other new features, and just two of them. One is the smart contracts as a service. As Max already said, we are offering in our API the smart contracts handling for auctions, for direct sales, for minting, which we will open very soon together with the marketplace. The other is involving NFTs, where we are working on it. So where the NFTs, if they are not locked already, then they can change their metadata. And are working on it. I'm working on it, where you can have a small scripting language in NFT-MAKER Pro, where you can change metadata by time or by some other events. If someone has two NFTs of a special series inside, and then another NFT got more worth, and such things. So we are working on a lot of things, and the next year will be very interesting. And yeah.
Great. Yes. Yeah, then I think that's pretty much it from our little tech talk. I think it was really, really great that the community also got to see your faces for once, because usually it's just me, and people think, okay, and if Patrick is doing everything, but I'm not. Here we have like so many amazing people behind the scenes, like you two. So thank you for joining me. And then, Fahim, if you're there, I think we can go into the next little short break. And next up is actually a little like podcast section with Stale and Alessandro and me. And we're just gonna talk about the early days of NFTs on Cardano, and then be excited for that. And thank you for being here, Sasha and Max.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go.
Okay. I think we're live. I'm not sure, but I think so. Thank you, first of all, for being here. And I want to introduce you to Alessandro and Luke. So thank you too for being here. I mean, you're both legends in the Cardano space, and I'm super happy to be talking to you again. We speak sometimes, but too rarely, to be honest. So I'm glad you're here with me. And we don't really have an agenda for today. We're just gonna talk about whatever we want, honestly. But yeah, let's start maybe by introducing yourself just really quickly, Alessandro, and then Luke.
Of course, sure. So thank you for having me, and happy birthday to NFT-MAKER.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm Alessandro. I'm from Germany, like Patrick, and I'm the creator of SpaceBuds, co-founder of it as well, and creator of Nami Wallet, and also operator of the Berry Stake pool. I've been around in the Cardano ecosystem for around 2 years now, mostly building stuff, pioneering more or less, innovating. And in general, I've been in cryptocurrencies for around 4 years now. So yeah, I have a bit of experience in this kind of area. Yeah.
My turn. All right. My name is Stale. A great name, I know. But you can call me Luke. That's my real name, not my made-up name. I joined the space back with SpaceBuds. It was a good time. We had lots of fun. Back when everything was through Discord, that was my speciality. But yeah, just spent the last year almost. Yeah. Jesus, happy birthday, NFT-MAKER. Developing and enjoying the expanding, growing community we've had here. And I've had the pleasure to, be friends with both Alessandro and Patrick, which is an honor. So yeah.
Yeah, how did you first meet, by the way? I know that you probably met through Discord, and I know that the first time I heard about you, Stale, I'm gonna keep calling you Stale because I think Luke is a weird name and Stale fits you much better. No, just kidding. But yeah, like how did you meet? Because Alessandro told me about you at some point, but I don't really.
I remember that one. So it was during the pre-sale, I think. I was very busy, and then like someone texted me on Telegram, and it was Stale. He was asking me for some, I don't know, some Cardano tech stuff, some APIs, whatever, and I just gave him everything we had, like Blockfrost API, and maybe one or two other links. This was probably everything we had back then, and this is kind of how we got to meet each other. Maybe more Stale. I don't know if there was anything else.
Yeah, I was just trying to make Discord bots and stuff that would help the community. At that point there was no pool.pm. No one knew how to, like, so many people were like, where do I see my SpaceBud? And the wallets at the time only showed like the token name, so lots of people didn't really understand what they were buying. So one of the things I started to create was a bot that kind of showed you your SpaceBuds. And for that, I obviously messaged Alessandro trying to figure out what I can use. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how far we've come since then, huh?
It's really crazy when I think about it, and I didn't even know that there was a pre-sale, to be honest. Was it before?
No, like I mean like the sale of the SpaceBuds.
Oh, okay, the sale. Okay, you mean the sale. Okay, yeah, it's been so weird. Like I've been following you for like months before you released SpaceBuds on Twitter, and I remember that you even had like a tool very similar to NFT-MAKER on Twitter at some point, and you did like all this like weird stuff with NFTs, and I always saw you posting about it on the forums and stuff, Alessandro, and then you just randomly dropped these NFTs, and I was so confused because I've never participated in any drop ever, and I have never bought an NFT. Oh, actually, I bought one NFT before that. I bought one on Ergo, on like a marketplace. And then, you know, I figured, oh, should I really spend 20 ADA on this JPEG? And then I bought one. I bought one, which was probably the biggest mistake ever. But you know, still pretty cool experience.
Yeah, I think I remember a tweet from you, Patrick, where you like asked me, yeah, there's probably some kind of bug on your website. Like, I can't believe that there are minted like 2,000 or 3,000 already in one day.
Mhm.
I was like, no, it's real. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I was so like I genuinely believed it was a bug. I really did not believe it would sell out this quickly, and it didn't even sell out this quickly, to be honest,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
retrospective. Like it
compared
took
to
a
the
few
other projects
days.
now, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was crazy times. Yeah, so still, like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's going on with Planet Pals? You know, what's going on in your life? I heard you moved.
Oh yeah, I moved like last year though, so I
Oh,
live with my girlfriend.
right. I know that, but I thought you moved again. Maybe I was wrong.
No, I would like to at some point, but no, not yet. So yeah, just been chilling here. It's fun, but yeah, in regards to what I've been doing, just like yeah, Planet Pals, obviously with my brother. We've kind of like not progressed as fast as you know I may have wanted, but so much has changed like since we launched it that you know we've kind of had to go back and redesign like game design and technology. You know, we'd like to use Milcomoda and develop on there, and that wasn't you know that I didn't know anything about that until like the end of last year. So you know all the tech design and game design we had done until then kind of had to be redesigned. But it's all for the best. You know, we're in a ever changing scene, and also the game has like kind of changed a lot since we've wanted to create it. We've kind of got bigger ideas, but I hope to get something out soonish. Now that Milcomoda is live, like it's live, right? Or is it still in testing?
No, it's live.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
That's a weird question, Luke.
I mean, have you seen like the auction with Charles is going live? It's
Oh yeah,
already
yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Well, I've just been using like the because I've been using the mainnet for testing for a while because I had the whitelist, so I didn't even realize. But I saw the Space Wars auctions, so that's true. I've got a really bad memory, but yeah.
I was very excited for the Space Buds auction until I saw that the bid was already at like 60,000 like 2 days ago or so. So I'm too poor for that.
Yeah,
Did
let's see
Charles never want
what's
it?
going to happen. So there were just 2 bids or 3 in total on the first day. Since then, there was no other bid, but I think most of them are happening at the end. Like it's good. It's for 10 days, and we're 3 days in. So I assume it's probably the last 2 days. Hopefully they get a little bit more interesting.
Of course, it will. If it's not going to be the highest NFT on Cardano ever sold, I'm gonna be very surprised, to be honest. That's like the standard that we're talking about here, I think.
Yeah. And I put everything into the community wallet just for SpaceBuds. I make 0 profit of it myself. So this would like help everyone essentially.
What does the community wallet do? Explain that.
Stan, what have you been doing? Like,
I'm just trying to bring up. I'm trying to bring up topics here.
you are a SpaceBud holder.
Yeah, I've been sleeping. Honestly, I've actually legit been just sleeping. Recently, I just like found out I've got like a sleeping disorder. So I've been exhausted
Really?
for the last few months. Yeah, literally. I sleepwalk like at least 8-9 times a night. I have like a nightmare 1 or 2 times a night. So my sleep is really bad. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's been like 4 months now that it's been like this. So I've started to look into it. I thought it would just get better, but so I don't know, like literally for the last few months I have kind of just been not as involved. I've been sleeping a lot, just exhausted during the day. So that's another reason why I've not been as like on top of everything, but it's getting better.
I'm glad it's getting better. That sounds not healthy, to be honest,
Bro,
Luke.
it's not. Well, I thought I would sleepwalk like once every day, like once a night. I'd wake up and be like, yeah, I remember sleepwalking last night. And I set up a camera in my room to see like actually what happens. I sleepwalk like at least 10 times a night. I get up, I walk around the house. It's like
What?
I don't really sleep very well because I'm always kind of just waking up.
You really walk around and you don't know about it? That's so crazy. Like, and do you do things like, do you go to the fridge, or what do you do?
I don't know because I only have the camera in my room, but I get up. Sometimes I put on clothes, take my clothes back off.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you're filming yourself naked?
No, I sleep in my pants, but yeah, it's weird though because for like 3 months I had this recurring nightmare, like every single night, of a car crash, and it's just so stressful. Like it's super stressful. But I've never had a car crash, so I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like stress. I don't know. Yeah.
That's crazy. I hope you get better soon. Don't be stressed.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just gave me meds, so now I just sleep even longer.
I slept too, actually. For today, I slept for 14 hours straight.
14.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it, but I woke up at like 12 today, so like lunchtime, and then I went to bed at like 9 or 8 or so.
That sounds
Maybe my
nice.
math is off, but yeah.
I did that yesterday.
Do you have jet lag or what?
No, I don't know if I have jet lag, maybe, but not really. I'm very used to waking up late and then staying up late. But when I'm waking up late and staying up early, then that's weird.
Wait, where are you now?
I'm in Berlin.
Berlin. Nice.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you going?
come by and visit.
Yeah, I would like to come to Berlin.
Yeah.
Wait, weren't you always talking badly about Berlin, or where was the place we were all gonna meet at some point? Where was it? Was it Berlin?
I think it was Berlin. I don't know.
Alessandra's like, no, I don't want to go to Berlin.
I don't remember like what it was, but I'm down.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to have you in Berlin, honestly. It's a great city. People either hate it or love it. I think Luke would hate it, would love it, and I think Alessandro would hate it because he's from Munich, and Munich is
already.
like.
I was there once. It's just not. I don't know. It's a very big city, and it's not super nice. Like there's not much nature around it, and I don't like it. I like Munich much more.
I don't know if you'd like London then. There's no nature there, mate.
Yeah,
London is a lot worse than Berlin and Munich, honestly.
Come to London. And I think you don't like London either, right, Patrick? Or you've been so many times. What was
I've been a few times. I think London is okay, but it's not very interesting. That's the thing. Like, I would rather go to Munich or to Berlin than to London.
Yeah, I think there's lots of things to do, but you got to kind of plan it. Otherwise, London is like, it's not like I don't know. I don't really even go to London much. It's too much for me. It's very it's very corporate and just businessy.
Hey, let's talk about NFT-MAKER version 1.
Oh yeah, I want to open source it, right? I want to put it out there because I have it all on GitHub. I just need to press the button. But I don't want to do it because it's so shitty, like the code is so shitty that I'm afraid that people are gonna hate on me when they look at the code, because it's like literally, it's like the whole thing is basically one Python script. Like what, and it's a very long Python script because it's not like, it should be multiple Python scripts because it's not structured that well. And then like a Webflow page, which we exported and then manually changed many things to make it work somehow. It's like all extremely simple. and like I need to make sure that if I open source it, that people know, okay, this is not how you should build such a tool normally.
So that's why NFT-MAKER is also an open source, right?
No, that's not actually.
Just kidding.
NFT-MAKER Pro, I think, is actually one of the most sophisticated tools in the whole NFT or Cardano space. I think people underestimate how complex it is, and it's really well written. And that's not like I started it, but the reason why it's so good is, or like written so well, I think, is not because of me, of course. It's because of the people that worked on it. Like my father, for example, with 30 years of programming experience, I had to teach him how to set up a Cardano node. But then on the other side, he can write structured software much better than I could ever. I mean, I'm 24, I have 23. I'm becoming 24 tomorrow.
Nice.
So it's like, of course, I don't have that much experience.
Yeah, I realized it as well with everything I built so far, especially like Nami wallets and the first Spacebuds website. Like it just went for it and was like, yeah, this is just gonna work out. And I got to a point where I was like, well, this doesn't scale, and the code got messy, and I was like, okay, to refactor, but I was too lazy, and I don't know. Yeah, it comes with experience, definitely, to write better code and like start from the beginning with like just make it better from the beginning and say we do it maybe not in JavaScript, maybe TypeScript. I realized TypeScript is better than JavaScript.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, you have so much more overview over your code, because even if you think like, okay, I know exactly what I did there, if you look back, like, I don't know, 2 months later on this code, you probably have forgotten what you did there. Although you think you won't forget it, but you definitely will.
Just comment everything. I love it. I write all my code so it works, and it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be like really shit. But if it works, it works. And if you go back and you fucking optimize and clean it all up, put your comments in, and then it's nice. That's the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't like commenting. I'm more on Alessandro's side here, refactoring and stuff like that. It's just, I like to plan it from the beginning, and then if it doesn't work out, I'm still sticking to my plan, even though it's not good. And that's probably like one of the flaws.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it was always like, especially with Nami, like just proving that it works. And it was like, okay, yeah, we'll refactor it later on. And just let me show if this works. And then, oh, there's another thing. Let me show if this works as well. And you just stack up shit on shit on shit. Well, it's not shit, but
okay, I'm gonna quote this on Twitter. Alessandro Conrad, Nami is just stacked up shit on shit on shit. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh shit! I got in trouble now.
What about this marketplace then? Tell us about this marketplace.
Well, the difference is like everything I made is open source, so I don't have to say anything. You can just look it up yourself and judge it if you want.
That's very true.
Yeah, and if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter, because so many people have learned from your code. You know, it might not be like the best style of coding or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because some people that don't know, even know how to do what you're doing can learn from what you're doing. And if they want to, you know, go crazy with refactoring, that they can do that as well. Yeah,
you know, like I know myself, like the marketplace code is not super clean. It's not like, it's not a tutorial, it's my marketplace. Of course, I didn't write it for everyone. I made it for myself, but just to get to this point, to get it working, it was extremely hard. It's so like no one sees it actually what went into it, and I was so happy to just like open source it and put it out. Like, okay, maybe someone will understand it, or at least have a reference to do his own stuff with it. But right now I'm at a point where I go like deeper into the stuff again and say, okay, I maybe want to create something more generalized, because I don't just want to have this marketplace. Maybe I want to have more different dApps. So I need a general framework, and I'm working on this a little bit right now because this is very important. I mean, I come from Ethereum, you know, like I was used to this Web3 library, and it was just awesome. You don't have to think about like the ledger itself, like how everything is parsed and like how the transaction is built. You can just say, call this function from this contract and do this, and you can focus more on like the high level, actually on the application. On Cardano right now, it's still like, okay, you have to care about the low level stuff plus your application, and we are 1 year into like developing the stuff, and we still don't have a common library to handle all of this in an easy way. We have the serialization lib, and we have maybe some other things, but it's just still way too difficult for most people.
Exactly. It's way too difficult for most people. We need to build tools and APIs and libraries and everything to make it easier. And I think that's what's being done, and there are really cool people working on that. I mean, Blockfrost is the number one, of course, but there are many others as well, just doing exactly that. I've tried out so many different libraries at this point. It's kind of crazy. I think Koios is the new one, which is really cool, actually.
Yeah, but these are all like APIs to fetch data from the blockchain.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking about like libraries to actually build the transaction, calculate fees, calculate Pluto script costs, etc. Like we don't really have one. We can just build from the CLI, but no one like builds applications from the CLI.
I do.
And we have the serialization. I think these are the only two options we have, and they're both not very accessible from the browser. Well, you can use the serialization, but then it's still not very easy for everyone. Of course, I mean, I understand it because I looked up everything. I understand the ledger in every detail, basically. But like, no one wants to do that as well. On Ethereum, for instance, I don't know how the ledger exactly under the hood works because I had already the library who handled everything for me. So I could just do all the high level stuff.
Yeah, that's missing. You're right. And I think you're the person from us three who knows most about the like super low level stuff, because you went in there and you changed the serialization lib, and you made so many things which like I would not have the time or muse, I would say, to think about. And you really went in there deep and just cut yourself off from like the world to just do it, right?
Yeah, it was necessary. There was not a way to do it. I mean, I couldn't build a library from scratch. I had to take what was there, and the serialization lib was a good starting point. I didn't know Rust, but I learned it, and I understood, like, it's a great language, actually. It's pretty cool. So now I'm really understanding the library as well, and adding my own features. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, I want to, so this is not really like an interview kind of thing, but I want to ask you, what are you, like both of you, what has changed in NFTs since you started, or since we all started? And like, do you think it's going in the right direction? Do you think it's getting more innovative, or do you think, well, like where should it go, and how has it been going so far?
Yeah, I can start.
Are you laughing because my question was formulated so badly?
No, I'm laughing.
No, I was
don't even
thinking
know.
about it, and I knew a question like this is coming up. So I think maybe we're not going in a perfect direction right now. I think we started out initially with a lot of innovation, with a lot of building, and there was not so much focus on the money aspect, but it was really more focus on Cardano itself and building. But right now it turned more into like just having partnerships, making money, like having, I don't know, it feels like
so you're not excited about Snoop Dogg?
Well,
No,
yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion, but I see it in two ways. So on one side, I say, okay, it's cool, it brings attention to the space, but I would personally not want to have it for my project, for instance, because I think it doesn't create like real long-term value. Because imagine if there's no one building, but just creates these partnerships. I don't think we go anywhere. It's just creating some kind of artificial value, which will sooner or later leave again.
I tend to agree. I think they are doing it a little bit different because they are actually using this partnership to build something long term, like with the Snoop Dogg baked metaverse kind of thing. So this will exist even if Snoop Dogg, for example, leaves the space or doesn't care about it anymore or so. But I tend to agree. Like like I'm more excited about, I don't know, you releasing Nami Wallet version 2 or something like that than as a celebrity coming into the space, even though that's great because they bring in people, right? But like the most important thing is always the technology and the tools and the stuff that we actually build on top of Cardano to make Cardano better, right?
Yes, especially right now. I mean, we're so early on. We can't say at this point yet we just go deep into marketing because we can barely like build or like handle transactions properly. Coin selection is a mess. Like there's so much we have to fix and improve, and I think this is much more important than bringing in like crazy partnerships. Because when they come and then they see like, well, you can't even use the stuff, then they're like, why this hype? No?
Yeah, there's still so much missing. So
yeah, we're not where we could be, and when we are there, I'm super excited for all the, I don't know, attention we could get, but I'm excited for the, projects with like play to earn or, just game functionality or something, because once we start seeing that, it'll be cool to see what you can do with the chain as well. I know, like play to earn NFTs is not necessarily the most groundbreaking thing, but it's kind of like the next step that I see. Seeing what can be done. Oh, is that my internet?
Yeah, it's your internet, but you're still there, like barely.
Okay, but yeah. Anyway, it's goddamn Starlink. But yeah, seeing what can be done, what doesn't work too well, exploring, things like Milkomeda, I think is the next kind of step, or one of the next steps at least to see.
Can you explain play to earn a little bit to me, like how you maybe how you plan to do it in Planet Pause? But I'm like I don't know. I have like this disconnect. I don't see how it will work. Like where is the money coming from? Isn't play to earn kind of just like regular games where you, for example, League of Legends, right? Alessandro is a big League of Legends player, and I'm not. I
No,
hate
I'm
it.
not. Like,
Yeah, okay, you're a small League of Legends player.
I'm not a big League of Legends player. I'm just playing it casually.
Okay, so you're a medium-sized League of Legends player. No, but like, how does it, like in League of Legends, you can earn these points to buy your character costumes, right? The skins. But you can also go ahead and buy the skins with real money, right? So how, like, isn't that kind of play to earn? Or like, I don't really understand.
Maybe, but I guess it is very like, Alessandro will probably give a bit more technical point on this, but it's in games like League or WoW, like, or, take Clash of Clans, you can't really trade your stuff. And even if you can, it's kind of, not really intended. You kind of have to trade accounts. And even then, like, that's kind of not really supported by games. I think that, you know,
True.
play to earn games can be so different to each other. So there's not one way. But if you're playing a game right now and you're earning stuff that you can go and maybe use somewhere else, you could trade it with other people on a marketplace. If it was a truly decentralized game, you know, somehow, then it's not necessarily, I don't know, maybe think about like, what's it called? The Oasis or something. Like, even if the creator and stuff die, you can still play, you can still have value to your things, and you own, you know, your items. If, as opposed to like World of Warcraft, for example, if you buy all these items and the game can kind of just take them away from you or ban you or close the game, then you lose, you know, the things you've worked towards and you've earned. So, you know, in a game like Planet Pals, where one of the ways we're providing, you know, play to earn utility or functionality is when you play and you craft items, you upgrade items, you can trade these on the marketplace. So every single thing, like a weapon or armor or the character, will be tradable in the marketplace. And we want to keep like all information about this item, all stats and levels, like on the chain or in a smart contract, however we can do it, so that we try to keep as least information as possible ourselves. But then again, like making play to earn games, especially on Cardano, I feel like a lot of projects are going to take a very centralized route to it, just because, I don't know, like imagine every time you want to go to a battle or upgrade your item, you have to pay for a transaction on Cardano. It's not that expensive, but it's going to be slow. And still, every time you want to play a game, you don't want to pay like 30, 40 cents. So I don't know how, you know, lots of people are going to try to achieve it on Cardano, but, you know, that's why there are things to explore like Milkomeda that might be better for that.
Yeah, no, totally. It doesn't make sense to build it on the main chain. I think it makes a lot more sense to build it either on one of the chains existing, like Milkomeda, that's the only one, right? Or maybe, you know, host your own side chain to make all the transactions free and have it like federated by a few nodes, and then merge it into the main chain essentially at big intervals.
Like Ronin or something.
And actually, yeah, the funniest comment just now from the chat was Nami mains, Alice mains Nami support.
He's ADC.
Well, and Stale versus JPEG Store 1v1 mid, winner takes volume. I love that.
JPEG Store doing a good job.
Yeah.
But maybe NFT-MAKER marketplace will take all of it, you know.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm a very competitive person, so of course. But no, I think, you know, what I like about JPEG Store, and also some of the other marketplaces like Artifact and also Atano, honestly, is that they have their unique niches. Like JPEG Store is very much focused on the 10K collections, right? And that's also what CNFT.io was doing or is doing. But so you two are battling, but you're not battling with Atano, for example, because they focus on something different. And you're not battling with Artifact because they focus on fine art and stuff like that. And we are also building something which is more focused on not the collections only, but more onboarding of users into the space who might not have used Cardano before. So, and that's the same thing we do with NFT-MAKER, right? Or with NFT-MAKER Pro and version 1 back in the day. So our marketplace has like a slightly different target audience, and that's how I view it. So we're all in the space together and not fighting against each other, except CNFT.io versus JPEG Store, of course.
Yeah.
Do you have a timeline for the marketplace?
Yes, May is the timeline. I can't give a specific date in May, but May is the timeline. Yeah.
So you will release it before the June hard fork, because
yes,
the June hard fork will it has some very nice functionality, and I'm thinking of creating a new marketplace for SpaceBuds after the hard fork, because it enables some really cool stuff, like being able to have some kind of global config for your application where you can then, for instance, in my case, where it can then change the recipients for the fees, or add new recipients for fees, and so on, without like compromising the scalability of the marketplace. So you don't run into contentions, because right now, if I would do it, everyone would need to take the UTXO. But if everyone like uses the same UTXO at the same time, like it just doesn't scale. But with the update, then you can reference it without actually spending it, can just read out information inside it, and everyone can do it in parallel. This is really cool.
This is really cool, yeah. I actually, to be honest, I haven't looked into the hard fork that much. Like I looked into like the blog article that they posted, but not in detail. So maybe I need to take a closer look. Maybe if you say that it might be worth it, then it might be worth it to wait. But do you really think it's coming out in June? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it is coming out there. I mean, I see the progress in the libraries. They're working on it. It's there, like the specifications already out. So it's possible.
Okay, we'll see.
Why are you so pessimistic about releasing?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the PAD should also be out, right? So it was supposed to come out in November last year.
It is out, but it's probably unusable for everyone. Yeah, it's out officially. It has an official release.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Nobody's using it.
Okay.
Because it's too hard.
Great. Yeah. Well, I'm just skeptical with timelines, and I love IOG, but development timelines are tending to be slightly delayed sometimes.
Yeah. I think like the ERC20 converter, they promised it for like years.
True. And now I can go to Melcomida and I can convert my ADA to ETH, or like my ETH tokens to Melcomida faster than anything else. So
yeah, we have to be careful with timelines from IOG.
True. Okay, I don't know where Stale went, but I think
he's going on the toilet.
He's going to did he say that? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, tell me about the future of Spacebuds. Like I saw you hinted so much stuff, like the community expecting everything right now. If you go to the website and then this one sentence with the story has only just begun, or what you wrote there, and then this one post where you made all the different, like, what's it called, like squares, and some of them were not filled, right? So you promised like four big announcements now.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, I mean, with the message on the website, I have to say, like, it's not really an announcement, but it means something. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a hint, but it's not really like very obvious. And I never did it before. I never like put out a roadmap or create something like this. I just put out stuff when I feel like, yeah, it's time now. But so I'm not announcing anything. But the image with the squares inside, it means nothing. Like, there were people guessing like crazy, and they were like, wow, what is this code? It's like basically a policy ID. The other thing is part of the contract code. It just shows some piece of history inside of this image. And I just had some empty squares to like make it a little bit different,
Okay, that's the best story. So Alessandro, why did you decide to start your metaverse project? Oh, I had some empty squares in this image, so I needed to figure out something.
When's the NFT Maker metaverse coming then?
Oh, it's not coming, or maybe someday. You know, I wrote my bachelor thesis about a metaverse.
I think if
so-
anyone should do it, you should do it. But I think we've got.
I think so too, but I don't have time. I need, you know, maybe in 2 years when NFT Maker is running and everything there is working without me being too much involved.
Mm.
And I have, I don't know, 5 million ADA to spend on the metaverse project, and I'm just gonna build the most amazing thing. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how everyone's talking right now about the metaverse, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna sell land, we're gonna do this, we have figured it out. Like, and I'm like, but where is it? So what is it?
It's so stupid, honestly.
You know? I don't think
they all sell land.
Like everyone is rushing it, and I feel like, okay, if we want to have a real metaverse, yeah, we have to come together, we have to build standards, we have to do like everything, and it will take time. It will probably take 5 to 10 years if we want to have a real metaverse. It's not like that you can say, yeah, we are an NFT project, we're gonna sell land now because this is part of the metaverse. I don't know, I'm not convinced of this.
Yeah, it's like people tackle it from the wrong direction. They say, okay, we're first gonna sell land, and then they earn like a little bit of money, and then they try to build a game, and they approach game developers and say, okay, here, come work for me, and let's build a metaverse. But game developers are also like, they don't know how to build such a thing. It's really, there are so many problems that are not solved, like the whole scalability issue, the whole decentralization issue, the whole interactivity thing. Because like, of course, we can say, okay, the content is all stored on IPFS, and we dynamically load it into our game, and that's great. But how do you actually talk to other people in the metaverse? Like, how do you interact with them? There needs to be a server who has like total control over that, right? Or at least like, and we don't have that decentralized. So we need to have like a blockchain kind of thing, or a conglomerate of servers, or some sort of P2P architecture that can do that without being insecure. And that's the difficult thing.
And I think it doesn't exist yet. So
it doesn't exist, exactly.
Yeah, if we want to have a real metaverse that is decentralized, it's probably very difficult to build. I think it's possible, but you can't like build it as a normal NFT project and say, yeah. Do it.
No. And that's why, like, all of these projects, you know, they can sell land, and they're probably going to be really cool. Like, also the Clayverse and so on. It's probably going to be really fun to play around in it, but it's not a metaverse. Yeah. It's a game. It's an MMO, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're almost at the end, honestly. So I want to give you like the last few minutes, Stale and Alessandro. If you want to say anything, talk about anything, show anything, then now's the time.
League of Legends tournament. It's Alessandro's idea. He wants the main Nami, but he's organizing a League of Legends tournament, which we're going to make a metaverse for. Obviously, we're going to make a League of Legends metaverse.
This is the real shit, yeah.
I still want to play, you know, League of Legends. We need to have 5 people per team, and we're only 3 people. And when we take Jack into it,
we definitely have enough people, right?
Yeah, in the community, okay.
Even Sebastian said he'd play.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised, but he did.
Okay. Oh, so we should get 5 people from Ethereum then, or Solana, and then we, like, us 5, we battle against them, and then we're gonna lose horrendously because no one knows how to play it except for Alessandro, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we're just playing for fun. We can do a 5v5.
Stale can play as well. He's also very good. We made a 1-on-1 like, I don't know, a couple months ago. I think you beat me with some.
I don't remember. Do you remember my internet was dropping out all the time? That was when
I don't remember. I'm so good at this game. I don't care.
Yeah, no, but I haven't played since last year, but yeah, I'm down. I think you wanted to play against the Dead Pixels guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have 5 people?
Said, yeah, actually. And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The
But we can
CFI.
make it. We can make something bigger out of this. I think this would be fun.
We should do that. We should allow people to join. Patrick, because you have like the biggest company here, just set up a whole system for signing up, registering with your team, and we'll set up a
Absolutely not.
the winner wins.
Okay.
And
I know
drop,
some
like,
websites where you can do that. Actually, it's very
and
easy.
then drop some NFTs.
Yeah, we can make
some winner
NFTs.
NFTs.
Yeah, drop some berries, Alessandro.
Yeah.
What? I have just one berry. I can't drop some.
No, drop one berry. No.
But yeah, I'm excited for that because I'm gonna be so bad, but it's gonna be fun.
I don't think so.
Can't we just do a StarCraft tournament, please?
Who plays StarCraft?
I do.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, my heart is broken.
Yeah.
So the chat is cracking up about the Dead Pixels guy. Luke, very nice.
Why?
Because you don't know his name, and
Oh,
I kind of want to see that.
it's just AF, isn't it? I don't know his actual
Yep.
name. It's AF.
Yeah, it's
Adrian.
AF.
Oh, okay, cool. No, he's cool. He's a cool dude. Yeah. Well, are
Yeah,
you
he's
doing
great.
anything for your birthday?
Sorry?
Are you doing anything for your birthday?
I'm actually going to like this super fancy restaurant with Fahim. He just reserved it yesterday, and they have like the most expensive schnitzel in all of Germany, I think.
Dude, what is schnitzel? I've never actually looked it up. Is it just sausage?
You don't know what schnitzel is?
Thin slice of meat. Meat is usually thin by pounding.
Yeah, schnitzel is a thin slice of meat. That's exactly what it is.
It just looks like what is it? Like a what's it called?
Wait, Stale. When you've been at my house, I think we ate some schnitzel.
I don't remember. Your mom just made chicken, lots of chicken.
Oh, no, we did.
Chicken
Okay, we
wings.
made chicken.
Oh yeah. If everyone, Alessandro's mum makes good chicken. Okay. If we ever do a Cardano event, she needs to cook for everyone. That is amazing.
Is she single?
But even what's the worst thing is I don't think Alessandro or his brother appreciate how good her cooking is. They were just not eating anything. It was awful.
Incredible. I don't know what to say, but yeah, let's end it here. I think no, it's really great to talk to both of you. Like, I really enjoy it. We need to do this more often. And still, I still have in my calendar every single Saturday. I have a calendar entry with you, and I've never been to any of those, and you have neither. So
yeah. Well, it would be a bit weird if one of us did, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
But yeah, we should do this more. Happy birthday, NFT Maker. Happy birthday for you for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Okay, then, Fahim, if you're there, you can roll the pause screen.
Heinz.
Okay, we're back. Thank you for still being here. It was really fun talking with Dale and Alessandro. I had a lot of fun with them. And now, next up, we actually have our NMaker token. So we want to talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to just introduce Ann-Christine, who is actually our CFO for the company. So she does all the financial stuff and is really good with that. And she is going to talk a little bit about the token. And then afterwards, I'm going to be back and recap it a little bit, and then we'll move on to the marketplace announcement. So Fahim, let's go.
Hi, I'm Ann-Christine, CFO of NFT-MAKER, and I'm super excited about the day today. So maybe I give you some information on how I actually joined NFT-MAKER. My background is rather a financial background. I started as an in-house consultant in Siemens for the M&A section. Then I joined Porsche, where I've built up the company builder of Porsche in Berlin. I did a lot of seed investments, spin-offs, venture buildings, etc. And at some point, I decided to actually build something on my own. And luckily, I got introduced to Patrick because I was interested in NFTs and Cardano blockchain. And yeah, today I'm here and I'm very proud to be a part of the team. What I'm also very excited about is our token, because we as NFT-MAKER decided to launch a token to invest more and more in our community. We want to build a bridge between all the NFT-MAKER assets and find a solution to the utility of all of our NFT-MAKER products. One of our functions of the NFT-MAKER token is, for instance, the governance function, meaning that you as a token holder are able to actually have a say. You can, for instance, vote for any features of our future marketplace. The second utility is a very important solution to find a way how we can prevent fraud and how we can actually verify artists at our NFT-MAKER marketplace. So with the token, you have the possibility to verify artists and to reduce any kind of fraud, which I believe is a very important step in the direction of future marketplaces. And what about the tokenomics? So we have 3 phases of the token sale, meaning we have a private sale, which is ongoing right now. We will have an ICO on the 18th of April, and we have an IDO a couple of weeks later. And the majority of the tokens, though, will definitely be distributed to our community. So if you're interested in our token, you're more than welcome to register yourself at LCX, which is the exchange for our token launch. And you can also find more information on our landing page, white paper, LCX itself, etc. And get ready and excited for 18th of April to join our token sale. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime to me or the team. And we would be super happy to have you on board. It's great to see this Cardano and NFT-MAKER community today. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the time.
So, am I back? I think so.
You're back, Patrick.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, that's great. Yes, sorry for the sound hiccup there. I think it's really great what that Ann-Christine introduced herself to the community as well. She's been working behind the scenes for so long, and is really like a vital part of what we're building here. And I'm super glad to have her on the team. And I'm obviously extremely excited about the token launch. I think you should be too. We have been working on this for quite some time, so I can tell you behind the scenes, we have been speaking to lawyers for months and months. We have been planning our tokenomics. We have been planning, the use cases for the token. And for me personally, it's really important that we don't just, release a token to release a token, but instead we want to release a token that actually benefits the holders. And the way we are doing this right now is we have multiple use cases for the token, which we are doing immediately, developing, and that will be integrated sometime this year. And then we also have other use cases more for the long term, and we really want to bridge, all the different products that we're building, because NFT Maker, we are doing so much. Like we're building this marketplace, we're building NFT Maker Pro, we're building all the different tools, and we want to connect them together, and we will connect them together with this token by essentially providing utility for hopefully every single person that is holding NFTs on Cardano. So yes, if you want to participate in the token sale, then now it's your chance. You can just register on lcx.com. It's gonna start in exactly 7 days. So April the 18th, and if you register there, you can just click on the page there. It will be announced, and then participate in the token sale, and then you will receive it on LCX. And that is an exchange which we have partnered with, because they are very regulated. They are very compliant, and that's super important for us because we want to build something that is there for the long term. We don't just want to release a token on some DEX and then in 5 years find out, okay, that's not legal. Like we cannot do this, especially since we're located in Europe. So instead, we went the safe route. We are partnering with LCX, and they are helping us issue this token in like a compliant manner. And and that's pretty much it. Besides that, we're also, of course, giving the token away. We will be giving it away to many different people, from delegators to our stake pool, but also to everyone essentially who is using NFT Maker products. So if you mint an NFT through NFT Maker, or if you use the marketplace, you will be receiving tokens at the end. And that is super important because we need to spread it as far as possible. And because someone here in the chat is actually asking what the utility of the token is, I want to give like one example of one of the utility cases, which I think is really important, and that is the verification mechanism that we have. So essentially, what you will be able to do is you will be able to stake your token or lock your token in your account, and that way your account receives a verification score. And the idea is now that if you do something bad, you can be punished. So imagine, for example, you have like an account, or you're an artist, you have a high verification score. So that means you have a lot of like stake in your projects, and people trust you more because of this high verification count. But what can happen is now that you, for example, go to Twitter, you steal someone's artwork, just some random artwork, put it on the marketplace, mint it as NFT, and sell it and make some money off of that. That is what's happening right now on OpenSea a lot and all the other marketplaces, and no one is really doing anything about it. We need to get this right, because that's what people from outside the space dislike about NFTs, right? They just know, okay, as an artist, my art is being stolen and there's nothing I can do about it. And someone is making thousands or hundreds of thousands of millions, maybe of euros on dollar off of it. So with this verification method, now when you do this, the community can basically in a decentralized way report you and then govern about whether or not you have done something right or wrong, or if it's supposed to be punished, if it's not supposed to be punished. So it will be like a self-regulating system where in the end, you are rewarded for doing good things and you are punished for doing things that the community thinks are not acceptable, like, for example, stealing art. So that is really the goal, and that is only one of the use cases for the tokens, but it plays very much into this governance direction, I would say, and that's really what we are focusing on. Okay, I think besides that, I don't have anything else to say about the token. You can also ask some questions later on if you're interested in those. During the AMA, just write everything in the chat later, and then I'll try to answer it as good as possible. Again, please, register on lcx.com. Make sure you're ready for the token sale. I would love to have you involved. If you have any questions, send them to us via mail or via Twitter or anything. Just Patrick at NFT-MAKER.io. And we will get them answered for you, because we truly care about this, and we truly want to use this token sale to bring the community to the next level. And we want to build NFT-MAKER into something big that is representing Cardano in the global crypto space. And we want to ask for your support in doing that. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. So with that being said, let's go into the pause for now. And after the pause, I think Fahim and Max are going to show you the marketplace and what it's currently looking like and where it's going to be in the future.
isn't it? Welcome back. We're super excited now to actually show you the first live preview of the marketplace. Together here, I'm Fahim. I'm one of the co-founders and lead designer for the marketplace, and with me is Max. We were on the panel before. He's one of the tech leads for that, and we've been working on the marketplace for a long time. Just a little heads up. We're going to show the live staging version that we use for internal testing and development and so on. It's a preview, it's buggy, it's not finished yet, but we just want to put it out to show you guys we're working on it. It's there, it's coming soon. And also in regards of our token, I think it's quite important to show the progress on the marketplace actually. And yeah, again, it's just a beta, it's a staging version. We have a lot of, you won't see real NFTs on there. We have placeholder images and so on. We haven't connected our real backend yet to it for internal purposes. Just keep that in mind. But without further ado, I'm excited to show you our first view of the marketplace. That's it. That's our homepage. The first page you're gonna see if you come on the marketplace. Yeah, it should be a home for the whole CNFT community. That's why we start with this huge banner where you can promote and feature important collections or NFTs with a certain utility and so on. So we're creating on the homepage, we're creating a big space for cool projects, for cool people, for cool artwork and so on. Yeah, you might get a small outlook to what features we will have. So we have a place a bit, we have a create an NFT button. I'm gonna show all of that later. But first I'm gonna scroll through the homepage. So the first section beneath our initial stage is our features collection, where we also can show important projects of the Cardano ecosystem. Below as well for certain NFTs. Here actually you can see we use staging or placeholder images for all of that, and the names and images are not real. Just keep that in mind. There will be real NFTs as soon as the marketplace launches. Yeah, we will feature. We'll have the capabilities for collaborating with us and creating a launch pad where you can apply and together we can create a certain collection and you can launch with us and your NFTs will be featured on the marketplace prominently. And with that, we just want to find those certain projects that need a bit of help, but where we think they have a great opportunity and great utility, and we want to give a place for them to actually get real and bring them to the Cardano ecosystem. Below that, we have some carousels of NFTs that you would expect from marketplace. So we have something that is trending. We have auctions that are live. We have collections that sell a lot right now. Keep in mind, this is all subject to change. That's the current status of our development. Below that, we have our so-called explore section. And our explore section is quite interesting. I'm just gonna go and open up our search or one of explore and search pages. It is separated into NFTs, collections, and profile and wallets. So one of the cool things about our marketplace is that we will, from day one, when it's being launched, we will feature every single NFT that has been created on Cardano. And you can search for them, you can find them, and if they're listed, you can buy them, which is, I think, quite great because you can just search through, all in the search bar, through the whole Cardano NFT ecosystem in this whole CNFT space. I guess Max can talk a bit about how this is actually being realized technically.
Yeah, that was a little bit challenging. It's 90% done. But I mean, we have not connected to the backend yet, at least not to the real data backend. Yeah, for me, it was also kind of challenging because, as said earlier, I was new in the Cardano crypto space. So the first thing would be, yeah, we need a database of all NFTs on Cardano, which are already minted. And yeah, we discussed also with Patrick different options, what we could do there. And to be honest, we ended up doing 3 options. And we are taking now the third option. The first option, I would say we were a little bit naive, actually. We tried to just fetch the NFTs from Blockfrost and putting them into a normal MySQL database or normal database. That kind of worked, but of course, we could not have searched through it. We could have cloned it to Elasticsearch or something like that, but we decided not to do it and not to continue using Blockfrost for that, because we also had some concerns regarding data consistency by using the API and also regarding the performance. So the next thing we came up with was actually Cardano GraphQL. I implemented that. So basically, I went through all of the blocks and through all of the transactions, checked whether NFTs are contained there, and also built a database. That also worked, but it took some time, to be honest. And then Patrick messaged me again because there was just another tool, which was Ura, I described earlier also. And that's the third option. And that's what we're using now. So basically, we have a Cardano node running, and we have Ura, which is basically piping transactions with assets or NFTs into Apache Kafka. And from there, we pre-process it. So we check for basically, the main check we perform for each NFT. So we do not simply dump the Ura output into a search engine. We just check it whether it's valid metadata according to the standard. So we don't have any malicious NFT or wrong NFTs therein with invalid metadata. And that's what we are doing, processing from Kafka and then pushing everything into Elasticsearch or OpenSearch. And that's basically our search engine, which is, I think most of the online shops or a lot of online shops are using this search engine also. So it makes perfect sense for us to do the same. And 4 million entries at this time is not a problem for Elasticsearch to handle. And that's basically how our NFT database is built. Another challenge or kind of challenge was basically bringing the NFT database from the marketplace and the on-chain NFTs both into Elasticsearch. So they have the same data model, and they also can be searched because, as Fahim will show later, I guess, we will also have to have the ability in the NFT-MAKER marketplace, like in NFT-MAKER Pro, to mint or sell on demand. So basically, you can upload your NFT images, and they are minted as they are sold. So that means we cannot or we don't get these NFTs from Ura because they're not on the blockchain yet. So our Elasticsearch setup doesn't work for the search. And so I had to, it was a little bit challenging to bring these data sources together. Also with additional metadata, for example, who created which NFT regarding our users in the marketplace, and just to combine these 2 data sources and even a third data source we use for validating projects. That was kind of very challenging to bring up this search engine. But we are very proud of this search and explore screen, we call it. And we will also improve it with more functionality, for example, metadata filters and so on. There's a lot of possibility in, but we just try to bring the basic features right now.
Yeah, thank you. So also some comments in chat right now asking for NFT calendar into marketplace and stuff like that. We have a lot of features coming up, and it's just building a marketplace properly takes time and a lot of effort. And we're launching, I think, a really good version, but we have an Excel sheet of like 100,000 different ideas and features that we will implement in the future.
And just to say also, the marketplace, of course, is also based on NFT-MAKER Pro as said, for our minting features and also for the payment features.
Yeah, thank you. to continue the flow, the next step after you maybe search for an NFT or whatever, you would click on the NFT and would like to view it. So we will preview the preview image of the NFT in the content tile here. If you click on it, it will open up the details page. That's how we call it. In here, you can see all of the files and subfiles included into the NFT. You have a mint date, you have a collection, you have the NFT name, you have our little action module, which I'm going to show later a bit closer. We have all of the metadata and attributes, and if there's a royalty token, stuff like that included in here in one easy to digest view. As you might saw earlier on the search and homepage as well, we have tags. So we're going to introduce a tag system in minting for the marketplace, where you can just have I think a list of 22 different static tags to assign to the NFT, which makes it a bit more easier. And then again, also we'll include our NFT-MAKER licenses as well into the minting flow here, which will be shown below here. Yeah, you can view the attributes of the NFT if there are any. Below, we will find more NFTs of the certain collection or more from the artists who created that. But yeah, that's the details page. We'll have the opportunity to mint and show video files, audio files, and GIFs, for example, as well. So we're going to support a broad spectrum of file types in minting and in the details page. In the future, we will include more and more, but I think that's a good start for now. Coming back to this little action module, where it currently says reserved, because it's one of the states of the action module. It's a little panel within every details page that changes depending whether you're logged in, whether it's your NFT or if it's a NFT from someone else, where you can place bids, or for example, where you can list it on the marketplace, where you can select between auctions or selling for a fixed price, and just selecting these options, type in the price you want to sell it for, select a time where you want to sell it, when you want to sell it, and that's basically it. After that, you will be led to the payment gateway and finish the transaction, but that's it. That's how it works. That's also how it works for auctions. And placing a bid will be the same. So we're just going to open up the action module, type in the bid, and that's it. So it's going to be very easy for everyone to interact with NFTs and getting started in the NFT ecosystem space. Yeah, so as well, I hope it's linked. Yeah, it is. Coming next, our collection page. We want to do something a bit different here as well, where we show we show 3 random NFTs of that certain collection at the beginning. Then you scroll down and see them a bit more bigger and a bit more prominent, and give them the space that they deserve. And then scrolling down, you have all of the information you would expect on the collection page, the information, all of the statistics that are relevant, and then you can search and filter through all of the NFTs within that collection. Yeah, in the future, we will add more and more filter options and sort options, but all of that will be coming. Next, I would log in. Yeah, so yeah, we still have super difficult captures as well in here, which you might change because it's very hard. But yeah, so one thing changed in the navigation above. You see this create button. So once you are logged in, once your wallet is connected, which I've already done with my account, you can create NFTs. And create NFTs means minting. And as mentioned before by Patrick at the beginning of the stream, there's still a lot of people using NFT-MAKER 1, version 1, and it's still the most used minting tool by numbers. And this flow here, or this create NFT flow, is the big update to that. You will have the option, or opportunity to create a single NFT. You have the option to create collections, very, very easy. I'm going to give a quick preview of how the flow works for a single NFT. So you can, at the beginning, you can select how many you want to mint. Then you go to next. And then you can upload the files, add relevant information. You can add custom properties. You can select a tag. You can mark certain things. You can select the license you want to have. You can add a royalty token and say how big the royalty should be, and then you can decide whether you want to mint it, you want to sell it directly, if it should be an auction or a fixed price, and so on. Yeah, that's a small preview of minting. I want to go into I don't want to show more because it's still a bit buggy, but we're going to share updates to that soon, and I'm super excited for you to actually use it and bring your NFTs onto the blockchain. And yeah.
Yeah, our big point at this time is we are connecting the NFT Maker marketplace to NFT Maker Pro. That's what we are mainly working on at this time. As said by Sasha earlier, we are planning to release the auction and direct sale implementation in the payment gateway in the next weeks. And then we can test it also in the production environment, and the NFT Maker marketplace will later also have this integration. But with the NFT Maker payment gateway, having auctions and direct sales, it will be possible for everyone to just put their NFTs on an auction or a direct sale.
Yeah. I see a bunch of comments right now asking for a dark mode. Yeah, that's something we could build far into the future.
I kept joking around with one of our other designers regarding the dark mode. Yeah.
Could be cool. But yeah.
Might come at some time, but I think the list of other features which have more priority is quite large.
It's really large. But yeah, we're hoping for release in Q2 this year, so in the next coming weeks and months. Stay tuned. Yeah, thank you. We're gonna go into a small break and then we'll be back for the AMA shortly.
Hey, we are back now with Fahim, Max, and Peter. And I think you haven't met Peter yet. So first of all, now is AMA time. So please think about questions, post them in the chat. And while we are waiting for your questions, I think it's a good chance to introduce Peter. Peter and I and Fahim, we have been friends for many, many years. We actually went to school together. That's how we all met. And Peter is also part of the NFT Maker team. And one of the earliest, founders, essentially. Fahim and I, we developed the website back in the day, but Peter was already in the founding team of the company and has been there since day one. So, yes, and we are back. Now we're fine. Oh, now I can hear myself actually. Oops.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, like Patrick said, I was in a way with NFT Maker from the beginning when we founded the company, but I was stuck in my bachelor thesis for a bit longer than Patrick, like half a year. So I actually just fully joined recently. And yeah, so what I'm doing now at NFT Maker is, besides some like 3D animation stuff, is that I look into what we can do with games. And maybe some of you have already read in the white paper, we have something about a game launchpad. And so I'm basically the person doing that. And yeah, in connection with that, we will host a game jam very soon. And I'm a little bit excited about that because this is actually how yeah, much of our early bonding time, I guess, of our friendship with Patrick took place. So yeah, maybe fine. Don't know, is this your screen you're sharing? Maybe you can show the picture. It's really funny.
Wait, that's the picture you meant. It's quite hard to pull it up right now from.
Yeah, so this is basically I'm just being completely wasted on my couch because this was our first game jam, all three together. For those who don't know, it's like a game making competition. You make a whole game in one weekend, and we were live streaming it, but everything you could see on the camera was just fine being knocked out on my couch. So yeah, good memories, and for that reason, I'm excited to host a game jam from NFT Maker as well, and I'm looking forward to that, and it will be fun.
Yeah, fine. Maybe do we want to start with the question? How does this work? You ask, we answer.
I got a question from somewhere in the community. If I stake with about the token, so if I stake with NMaker already, do I receive NMaker tokens, and how will it be distributed to delegators, airdropped every epoch, etc.?
Yes, you will receive NMaker tokens, and we are building a portal essentially, so a website where you will be able to enter your wallet address, and then you will see, okay, I'm eligible to this many NMaker tokens because of staking on the pool, but also because of using the NFT Maker tools, and then you will be able to redeem them through the website. So you will not get them airdropped because airdropping on Cardano is very expensive, and we can't just airdrop a lot of tokens to everyone essentially, or else we'll go bankrupt. But instead, we will offer you a portal where you can go to, and then you can just redeem them. You just have to pay the transaction fees, and it's going to be very easy and straightforward. And more info about that in the future. But yeah, everyone staking on NMaker will receive tokens.
I have two questions right now that go in a similar direction about the marketplace. So basically, they're asking, how do we get people onto our marketplace, and how are we how are we different from our competitors?
Yeah, very good question. And I talked about this earlier with Dale and Alessandro. Essentially, I think a lot of these marketplaces are focusing on very specific areas, and we are also doing that. So of course, we are like a generalized marketplace where you can list everything, but we are focusing specifically with NFT Maker as a brand in total, with all of our products, on onboarding new people into the NFT space. So our marketplace has a few design decisions which might feel a little bit off for people that are native to crypto, but are very beneficial for people who have never, for example, used ADA or never bought an NFT. So we want to make that user journey for people new in the space as easy as possible. And then once they're onboarded, they will still stay in that area. And of course, we will have like all the features that you want. We will have auctions, which is an amazing feature. We will have minting on demand. We will have tight integration with NFT Maker Pro. We will have all this kind of stuff to really make it the best possible user experience. But especially the onboarding and the user experience is always #1 priority for us.
Great. A question for Max about the marketplace minting. From our lovely Ayanet. They create more than 20 NFTs button during the minting flow. The question is, if I would upload over 300 photos, will they be under the same policy? And
yeah, they will. They will be on the same policy, but we're not planning the random buy feature for the MVP relaunch for the marketplace, but it's on our list for future launches. To be a little bit more precise, what we are planning is connecting NFT Maker Pro and Marketplace even more, which means that we are planning later this year maybe that you can directly, you upload a lot of NFTs directly to NFT Maker Pro. Like, for example, 300 or 1,000 NFTs, you upload them via SFTP or our API to NFT Maker Pro. And in NFT Maker Pro, we want to have the ability that you essentially press one button in NFT Maker Pro and the whole collection will be transferred to the marketplace or will be displayed in the marketplace. So with that feature, we will have the connection NFT Maker Pro to marketplace. And there we will also most likely have some of a random buy feature. So yeah, so because our minting screen in the marketplace is, you can, for example, upload 500 NFTs there, but I think it's more for a less amount of NFTs because it's a lot of work to upload 500 NFTs in the marketplace minting screen. Therefore, normally NFT Maker Pro is the better fit because of the SFTP features and of the API integration.
Yeah, with the marketplace, we're kind of focusing on roughly like smaller collections and drops around like 20 or 50 NFTs, I guess. But you can do more if you like to. Patrick, you are young and likely have many years ahead of you. What are your future ambitions? Do you plan on staying in the blockchain tech space forever?
I plan on staying in the tech space forever. I don't know if I'm going to stay in the blockchain space forever. Of course, the next few years I'm gonna stay 100% in NFT Maker, and I'm super committed to bring that to the next level. But I don't know where the future is. I have many different ambitions. I want to rule the world. No, just kidding. But okay, I'm half kidding. But I want to see a real metaverse. I want to see AR and VR becoming more and more real. So that's kind of stuff that I'm interested in. And of course, I also want to see Cardano succeed and the decentralization of these tools. But it all plays together, kind of.
One easy question to answer. Someone is asking for a place where they can see documentation of all the features of NFT Maker Pro.
Yes, that's a very good question. We actually have a knowledge hub. That's how we like to call it. It's a documentation place where you can find everything about NFT Maker in general. I'm gonna post it here in the chat, and there you will find whatever you like. But also on this YouTube channel, we have a lot of tutorials made by Kush, not Kush, Kyle, sorry, and he's really great at doing that. So I think if you just look for that, or also just type it in on YouTube, you will find quite some information.
One question about your marketplace for Max. Is there a minimum listing price for NFTs?
At this time, we have implemented for the development version 10 ADA, but we can also decrease that to the minimum technical amount plus our fees. That's still to be discussed.
I think also we have the minimum amount for the auctions as well.
Yeah,
that's
correct.
I think 5 ADA.
Yeah, the starting price for an auction.
Someone asked whether token rewards are offered to past users of NFT Maker or only users who mint after token release.
I'm not sure yet, to be honest. We will have to decide that internally. I'm not sure. We also have a lot of questions under the Twitter post. I send it to you.
I'll switch over to Twitter. Just have to find our hashtag.
By the way, guys, while Fahim is sitting there, this is always how our meetings look. Fahim is always sitting there with like his cap, and we can barely see his face. I'm always sitting here in complete darkness. Max is having his like random screen or like a very blurred screen, and Peter is just there in front of his couch. So yeah.
Yeah, just being normal.
You're the only one being normal. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you should try.
I mean, Patrick, we had some very intimate meetings as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just too dumb to use the Twitter app. I can't find.
I'll send it to you again. I send it to you also in Google Chat if you want.
Under the tweet. Okay. So one question regarding the token as well, or I guess marketplace too. How will the verification be handled?
Yes. So essentially, verification is a very important topic. That's like #1 topic for us. So long term, what we plan to do. So the long term strategy is essentially to use our verification mechanism that we're building for the token, and so we are doing that, and that's super detailed in the white paper. I think you should take a look at that. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I explained it earlier already. And then in addition to that, we also plan to do some stuff with digital identity. So we have a system in place already, actually, where you can essentially connect the digital identity to your wallet. And by connecting that, you can prove that you are a certain person. So for example, imagine you're an artist and you have a Twitter profile, you have an Instagram profile, and people don't want to trust you, that they want to trust the NFT and know that the NFT was really made by you. So what you do is you essentially connect all your profiles and maybe even do KYC and dox yourself and connect all that to your digital identity and to that NFT essentially. So that way you can prove that you are really the person behind that. And I think by using a combination of these two mechanisms, we can get around manual verification like JPEG Store and CNFT.io are currently doing, where you have like a list of things and someone has to go through them manually and verify them. But at the beginning, we will still have to do that. So at the beginning, we will have like a regular verification method, but long term the plan is clear. So we need to decentralize verification. We cannot have that only, you know, in such a centralized manner like we do currently. Yeah.
Cool. On the marketplace, we will have certain sections where we can feature certain projects and NFTs. How will they be picked? Who's deciding that, and what's the mechanism behind that?
Is that for me?
That's for all of you. I mean, it's regarding the token as well, but
yeah. So like we have a mixture of sections, right? We have sections which will be automatically, and then we have sections which will be like featured and stuff like that. And the featured section is going to be handpicked by a human. So we will make sure that we have like good art on the front page. And then long term, what we will do with all these sections is essentially we want to use our token to govern this. So we want to democratize this essentially and put the people in charge and say, okay, we want to feature this artist today and this other artist tomorrow and so on. So this is not a power that NFT-Maker should have, but instead we want to give it to the holders of N-Maker.
And on the topic of N-Maker, will users of the marketplace, so people who are listing and selling their NFTs there, will they earn N-Maker tokens?
Yes, they will be earning N-Maker tokens. Yeah.
One question we have on Twitter is, what features can we expect from the start of the marketplace? I think it's a very long list, but generally it's kind of like profile searching, minting, wallet connection, auctions, stuff like that.
Yeah, mint on demand.
Mint on demand.
Yeah.
So it's a big list, but we'll add more in the future as well. I'm gonna head over back to the YouTube chat quickly. So Patrick, if you have a nice story to tell, or anyone else, that's the time. No pressure.
Nice story to tell. Yeah, so I have a nice story to tell about FIME actually. You know, we all love FIME. And we had this NFT-Maker office for a few months. And the very first day we got into the office, FIME walked straight against the glass door. It was really amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Exposing you live on stream.
Yeah, FIME has a good history with doors.
Yeah, true.
He also did this always when we went to school. Like he never got it right when you needed to pull the door. He always tried to push and walked into the door.
Yeah, but that's a design problem, to be honest. Because a lot of doors that like a door shouldn't have a handle if you should push it, you know, because handle needs pulling.
But no, the fun part about it was stressing you out every time the door came up. So you did it wrong because you were panicking.
True.
Do we have any incentives for getting seller on the marketplace? Because people are thinking that our incentive for bringing new buyers on the marketplace is quite good, but what about sellers?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of things which other marketplaces don't have, features which other marketplaces don't have, and essentially we are also exposing art in a very different way, and I think that's the most important one. There are many marketplaces which are focused too much on random 10K collections, and not enough on like more like fine art, but also one-of-one NFTs, which are not necessarily fine art, stuff like that. So we try to get the balance right and really put things into the spotlight that might be different on other marketplaces and really push towards this art direction and not only towards the collectible direction. So that's very important for us, yeah. And in addition to that, we will also have very low fees, at least in comparison to the other marketplaces. I can't announce it yet, but we're planning to do very low fees for us and basically give back more to the people selling on our marketplace. And it's getting really dark now. My whole PC turned to dark mode also, so I need to switch on my light.
I think we have one more question, and then we can, I think, conclude the stream as well. So the last question for today is, will the auctions be fully tested when released? Which I guess...
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, the auctions are something we test anyways. We have two different types of auctions. We have the smart contracts auctions, and we have like a legacy auction system. They both have different drawbacks and different, things that are good about them. So they both complement each other in a way. And of course, we are testing them internally. Long term, we will also have a like an audit firm actually looking through all our smart contracts. I'm not sure if we can get that before the marketplace release or not, but we'll see. And yeah, and for us, security is of course number one in our list of things which are important to us. But I think we have a pretty good track record in that, because everything is running through NFT-MAKER Pro. All our marketplace functions are running through NFT-MAKER Pro, and NFT-MAKER Pro historically has been quite safe, and we have a really good system to ensure that it stays that way, to be honest.
Yeah, and maybe so basically what is the state of the auctions and the direct sales? They are, I would say they are in a beta version implemented in NFT-MAKER Pro internally, and we are currently testing it while integrating the features into the payment gateway, and then we will have another test round before we might release it to the public.
Amazing. I think with that we can conclude the stream and our little birthday celebration. I hope you guys had a good...
Wait, let me show some more at the end.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so NFT-MAKER ICO is coming up, right?
Oh, true. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
We pull up the... I have a little banner for that as well. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, so NFT-MAKER, we have existed for 1 year now. We started with nothing. Fahim and I did this website. We built it in a day, not expecting much, but then realizing, okay, we hit something here. We have something really great. Started with zero funding, zero budget, and we have essentially built a company together, or like a product together, which has helped thousands and thousands of artists to be onboarded into NFTs on Cardano, which we're extremely proud and happy and thankful about, because that's been a lot of work, a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights, honestly. But yeah, it's been, sorry, I'm a little bit ill. It's been such a great journey, and what we have done is we essentially took everything that we earned and put it back into the company. We hired a lot of people. We are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every month just on making this better and bringing the NFT space on Cardano to the next level. And now, we want to take this to the next level, and we have thought very long and hard about how to do that. We have come up with a great plan, in my opinion, for this NMaker token, and we will be launching this token in 7 days, right? And we want to use this opportunity to not only make our system better by introducing this token into all the different parts, but we also want to use this opportunity, of course, to use all the money that we get from the ICO and from the sale of the token to scale up to the next level, because I think we have proven that we can do so, and we have proven that we can build something with basically zero funding, all paid by ourselves, and that we can really bring value to the community. And now this is basically our proposition to us. We want to show you, or we want to use this thing that we've proven to essentially take it to the next step and ask you all to participate in the ICO. And we'll promise that we are 100% committed to building great products and making NFTs on Cardano go to the next level. That's what we care about, and that's essentially why we're doing this.
Yeah, get ready, sign up at lcx.com.
Exactly.